Hey, welcome back. Sam Silver, eXp Realty. This is newly licensed now what? And we're going to have some special guest stars today. It's always kind of a toss-up when it comes to who comes in. Give me 1 second. It's still setting up. So we have, give me a second. Let me open this up. And we'll open our room and see who comes in and visits us today. Kind of feel like Mr. Rogers because you never know who's going to come into the room and add some value to us. So we opened a room here. Let me make sure that we don't have it clicked onto a Bluetooth so we could hear what's going on. And replay is on. I'm in the room. Fantastic. I'll be right back. I need to go get one more device. And you're right back. Yeah, when you do these shows, you gotta kind of go on the fly. So we got this set up. Hopefully the mic is hearing me. If you don't hear me, please let me know. And I see the video is working. One more thing. And I try to make sure that I'm on time when I say I'm going to open a room at 12 o'clock. I want to be on time because your time is valuable, my time is valuable, and all the people that come and pour into these rooms, their time is valuable. So let's do this. Camera doesn't want to behave today. Let's see. Okay, I guess I'll move the. I guess if I can move the screen. I guess that's good for right now. Move that down. And then move that back. A little bit more light too, like that. Okay, let's see if that works. So now we're going to open up our Instagram and see who shows up and visits us on our Instagram channel as well. Let's see. And I will be calling some people into the room. And what this is called pinging people into the room. And let's see, add this, go live. Okay. Now we're live here as well. I don't know, it's a little bit dark. Let's see. Maybe we can add a little bit of light from one of these other windows. Let's see how that works. Helps out a little bit. A little bit. Here we go. Maybe I'll open these. This one looks okay over here. Let's invite some people in. And see what's up. Newly licensed now what? Tip Tuesday. Tip Tuesday. Let's see who's around. Who wants to come in and say hi? Let's see. And we'll ping some other people. See if anybody can come in and say hi. Let's see, reviews. Let's see who's in here. All right. Let's see. I'm going to try some of the lights over here. Looks like I'm in a dungeon on Instagram. We don't want to be that. We don't want to have it that dark in Instagram. Get some light on the subject. Let's see how that works. Hey Renee, welcome. Just setting up. I start this room at 12 o'clock and it is Tip Tuesday, so I'm just going through my people in Clubhouse and seeing who can come in and share some of their expertise on what they're doing and how they're being successful in the real estate business. So give me 1 second. Just pinging some people in, some professionals that I've been connected with for a while. And to see who has some time today to talk. It's a Tuesday, so a lot of people busy. And hey, Anthony, welcome to the room. Come on in.
Hey Sam, what's shaking?
Hey, my friend, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
It's Tips Tuesday, so I just wanted to open the room and invite people in. Anybody that you know out there that can come in and join us. I'm going to make you a moderator as well. And looks like Dania. Hi, Dania. How are you? Let's see. So we have Instagram. We have my streaming channels. We got everything going on this morning. So I'll start the room saying my name is Sam Silver. I'm with eXp Realty. And I have been in the real estate business since 2004. And I give back to heroes in my community. 20% of my gross goes back to police, fire, nurses, teachers, nonprofits, government agencies, veterans as myself, and military. And I created these rooms for realtors or people that may not be licensed yet to have a place to go to figure out they're newly licensed, now what to do next. That's why I created these rooms. That's why I created a Facebook room, just to help out, give tips. Yesterday was Mindset Monday. And as we all know, mindset is so important in this business. Hey, Marty, welcome, welcome, welcome. Mindset is so important in this business or any business out there, because if you don't have the proper mindset, how can you get to your next level? How can you be successful? So I invite specialists like Marty and Anthony, because Anthony supports these rooms and I really appreciate it. Always nice to see you, Anthony. Always nice to see you in these rooms. We got Dania down at the bottom. Jeff looks like I've seen him before. I'm not sure which room, but I'm going to invite him up as well if he's interested. And Anthony, introduce yourself, where we could send referrals to, and a little bit about you.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anthony. I am newly licensed, finally, agent here in Long Island, New York. Prior to this, I had a quite long, almost 20-year career on Wall Street in international trading and sales, and made the switch over, and that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anthony, for coming. Marty, welcome, buddy.
Hey Sam, how you doing, buddy?
Always awesome.
Marty Human, aka Marty Bahama. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, and always helping people learn how to use the Facebook groups to start discussions, to create personal branding groups for themselves, and to find sellers, find buyers. So anytime you guys need any help, just reach out to me anytime, and I'm here to answer any questions you guys have. Hope that helps you.
I actually have a question, but I'll just go when.
Go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead, brother.
You mind if I jump in right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Marty, my question actually is, I set up a Facebook business page. I'm going to start populating now that I got licensed. But it seems that from the Facebook business page that I created, which is separate from my personal Facebook page, on my business page, I am unable to join groups from my business page. It will only let me join groups from my personal page. But I kind of like to keep everything separate.
I can barely hear you, Anthony. I don't know if it's on my end or not, but I think I deciphered most of that. You got a page that you created and you got a profile, but you want to page, don't let that happen. But the good thing is there's hundreds of thousands of groups all around you. So I'm sure you will find some that should let the page join. But my advice is don't use your business page. Use your regular Facebook profile. And the reason I say it is because I've been doing this now for about 7 years. And the conversations you have, the message you create, the connections you have with people through Facebook Messenger, they need to know you're a real person, and you don't come across so businessy, so salesy. That's kind of my tips for everybody in 2022 is just to remember your conversion comes from how you message people and how you come across to people. And most people rather do business with a person than do business with a page. The pages are designed for you to spend your money. So if you like doing paid advertising, hey, use your page all you want to. But if you're not going to do paid advertising, you can try to do it organically, which is by far, I think, the best way, is create you a personal branding group And what I mean by that, it took me about 3 years for me to figure this out myself. I've been posting in the Facebook groups for many years and getting a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of messages, but I wasn't putting those people anywhere. So I created Knoxville Homes for Sale, Marty UMA's Home Buying Easy, and put a few people in it. Today it's got about 4,000 or 5,000 people in it. It starts growing by itself organically. You can go ahead and ask 3 questions to the new members in the group. You know, what's stopping you from buying a house, credit, income, or down payment? Would you like to put your house in the market? All that good stuff. And then learn how to use everybody else's Facebook groups to post, to create polls, and then start driving that traffic straight into your holding pond. Like I've got one realtor who closed 6 transactions this month, all from her personal brand group she created.
Great, thank you so much.
Hey, no problem.
Awesome as always, Marty. I'm going to see if I can invite some people up if they're able to, and to introduce themselves. And the really cool thing about these groups, I have Instagram. I don't know why Instagram seems so dark. But I have Instagram, I have my streaming channels, as well as I have LinkedIn, Facebook, all these different channels rolling at the same time. So you never know by coming into this room exactly who you're going to connect with, what opportunities are out there, what type of referrals you can wind up getting. And please come up, introduce yourself, so that way we know where to send our referrals to. Jeff, introduce yourself, please.
So I'm a commercial real estate broker in New York City, focusing on office leasing, tenant rep only.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in the room. Marty uses all sorts of groups. I wonder if that could be used for commercial. What do you think, Marty?
100% yes. I've got a guy who signed up with me here not even a few weeks ago who sent me a message today. His posts are working out for him, how many conversations he already has. I'll put a screenshot of it on my Instagram here. I'll see if I can find a screenshot of it where he sent me that. But yeah, it works for every business out there. You know, you can brand yourself. I've got people I've built to sell sheds that went from being a mediocre shed salesman to being number one in their company. Same thing with cars. Same thing with business loans. I mean, it works for everything. You can create a simple poll out there, and it can be something like, if you were to get a business loan, what type of business would you open up? Something simple like that. Or who out there is looking for a business loan? You need help with your business, you know, either paying employees. There's all kinds of different little posts and polls that you can create to drive traffic straight back to you. 100% yes, it definitely works.
Jeff, you have to connect with Marty and see if there's a way that his Facebook groups can help you to get more business. That is, if you need more business.
Always.
Appreciate you coming in, and please share this room with other people that you know. It is Tips Tuesday. Any tips for you? I'm not that familiar with the commercial industry as myself, and I think it would be great to get some more knowledge about the commercial business, and any tips on, say somebody gets their license and they want to get into commercial. Any tips on how to do that, Jeff?
It's the same license in where I am in New York and I think also everywhere except for Canada, as the residential license. But past that, you need to, like, what I did was I reached out, via cold call to an owner of commercial real estate, and they were starting a tenant rep shop, and they let me, kind of come in and, present to them about why I should work there.
And how long have you been doing commercial real estate?
10 years.
Wow, that's a long time. And
I've been in the interiors industry for 20 years. Like I was doing furniture before, office furniture. But like when I say office furniture, I don't mean like a desk, a chair here or there. It was like, hundreds at a time, floors and floors of furniture. So it was very similar to the process is very similar to the buying process as it is to commercial real estate, because commercial real estate is just a little bit ahead of purchasing furniture.
Do you specialize in any? You can get leases. I know you can buy buildings. I know there's all sorts of specific niches in commercial. Do you specialize in anything?
I represent tenants, so occupiers of space who are looking to typically lease. I've done some sales, but mostly it's lease. But we don't orchestrate the outcome for them. We try to figure out what works best for them, and then make it make sense. But we don't go after owners of properties in any way, shape, or form for any representation or anything like that.
Very cool. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming in the room. I don't know if I've ever met you. I think I've seen you in some of the other rooms I've been in, but I really appreciate you coming in and sharing a little bit about commercial, because there's going to be people out there that are just don't understand what commercial is all about, and they think all commercial is these big buildings, and it's not. There's so much more to what commercial is. So thank you so much. Read-in, did I pronounce that right?
Pretty close. My name's Radon, but it's okay. I know my name might be difficult to say. How you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you for asking. Now, where are you at, and how long you been in the business, and any tips that you have for new agents, or are you a new agent and you need some tips?
No, yeah, my name's Radon Draper. I live in downtown Long Beach, based out of LA. My office is in LA. I sell quite a bit of property in LA. It could always be more, of course. I'm not a new agent. I have been licensed for going on 7 to 8 years now. Without trying to hold up the mic, I started out working in banking. I worked for Bank of America for about 10 years, and I was complaining to this investor about not making enough money, and he asked me 3 questions. He said, "Are your parents still alive?" I said, "Yes." He said, "If you go broke, could you move back home with your parents?" I said, "Yes, they love me. The only reason I moved out was because I wanted to bring girls over, and my mom didn't allow that." That's the reason I got my apartment. And then he told me to quit and get in real estate. And this investor had $100,000 cash in his bank account, because I could see his account because I worked for the bank. And I quit my job and I got into real estate. I know what a crazy story. Once I make my millions, maybe I could really share that story with more people. So yeah, I've been in the business for 7 years. What was really unique to me was I had clientele from the bank when I quit. So I was kind of doing pretty good. And then obviously after you sell their property, your clientele kind of dries up. So been primarily doing a lot of open houses to get business. And that's what my 2 cents would be to a new agent. Open houses, because you can kind of fail and learn with prospects. I feel like if someone comes into an open house, it's like throwing meat into a lion's den. You came into this house, you obviously want to talk to a realtor. Let's talk. But yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. And my name's Radon. I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in the room. Long Beach, you're not that far from me. Actually, I went down to a ADU America, and I actually got the chance to meet quite a few people off of Clubhouse in ADU America. And so yeah, Long Beach is a great area. There's a lot of really, really cool places, and it's very eclectic. I mean, you got some areas of Long Beach that are better than others, and then you have really, really wealthy areas of Long Beach. And so you can focus on whatever kind of real estate that you want in Long Beach, because it's so diversified of an area.
It amazes me. I was fortunate to buy a condo 3 years ago. I bought it for $280, and it needed some work. My wife wasn't feeling it, but I was like, baby, you're married to a realtor. I'm not gonna steer us wrong. And now they're selling for about $500,000. And I'm headed to San Diego right now, but I was just driving around the area, and all I am seeing in downtown Long Beach is luxury apartments. Like they're not building any more condos, they're not building any more houses. All they're doing is high net worth leases, and that just tells me that I made a great decision.
Absolutely. And one of our guests here is Marty, Bahama. And he talks about creating these incredible Facebook groups. Have you created any Facebook groups?
No, I haven't. I'd love to learn more about that. I do hear that some people do make Facebook groups to kind of network. Like I'm in a Long Beach foodie group and they talk about all the good places to eat. But no, I'd like to learn more about that. And I've heard people making Facebook groups of cities, and that's a great way to. I mean, obviously the end result is to get business, but you kind of have to and be a little incognito, maybe give a little bit before you ask to get.
Hey, Radon, was it what did I kind of missed part of this conversation? I had a telephone call. What exactly do you do again?
I'm in residential real estate. I want to maybe get into commercial, but primarily all I do is residential buying and selling residential real estate.
And where are you located?
I live in downtown Long Beach, but most of my deals are in LA, Carson, Gardena, Inglewood, LA South Bay.
So get on Facebook today and just hit the create button and create a group, not a page, just create a group and call it LA Homes for Sale - Radon makes home buying easy, or makes it easy, something like that. Good thing about the titles in the Facebook groups, you can put a little bit more in there than usual. It'll help people find you, and that group will actually become alive eventually. Once you start adding some people to it, you start learning how to use the groups to find clients, to find buyers, to find sellers. So, for example, I was a realtor back in the mid-'90s and didn't make it, but I got into the loan side back in 2004, and been uphill ever since. With the loans. Now I've got like 10 branches out there, but I started 7 years ago. I stumbled across the Facebook groups, and that allowed me and my partner to quit spending money on advertising. We were probably paying about $4,000 or $5,000 a month, different advertising methods, whether it be radio, whether it be linen tree, whatever, buying donuts for realtors, whatever we try to do to get the business in. But you stumbled across the Facebook groups and just started creating simple posts out there. And it took me 3 years to figure out I need to put these people somewhere, because I was getting thousands of likes, thousands of comments, thousands of messages, but I wasn't putting those people anywhere. So I started creating these hold bunts and then immediately started teaching other people how to do the same thing. The good thing about the Facebook groups is you can control who's in it, especially a small group. Like I'll teach people how to buy Facebook groups too. Like you can meet me, get access to my classroom, and next thing you know, you might have a control of a 40 or 50,000 member group in your area that same day. It's a whole different ballgame dealing with the big groups compared to a small group. So you can create that small group, and it's based around your community, and you'd be amazed. Throw you a beautiful house on top with a pool, put your, have somebody Photoshop your business card up there. You'd be amazed on how fast that group will start growing just because of its name. And then they're going to immediately associate you as a path to buying a house. And it doesn't cost you anything to do this. It's 100% free. It's so easy to go to these Facebook groups and create these simple little posts and these polls. Like if you want to find sellers today, you could go to a Facebook group, create a poll that just says, how much would it take for you to become a home seller, either in the spring or the fall? Throw some options out there. $500,000, $1 million. I've done this in California, in Temecula, and Riverside. I've had 6, 7, 8, 10 people click the option that they want to sell their house between $1 million and $2 million. So you can find those people that have not listed their property yet, but they're getting ready to. It's key, and whether it be now or whether they come back to you 6 months now, a year from now, if it wasn't for you creating that group or creating that post or that poll, they would have never knew who you were. So I would probably try those things out first. And then as far as finding properties goes to flip, oh yeah, you can definitely use the groups to do that really easy. I've got a lot of investors and wholesalers out there using their groups is finding an absolute ton of properties. They're loaded with real people, real heartbeats, real clients. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Marty. I appreciate it. And the cool thing is, I just created a Facebook group, Beg, Borrow, and I forgot what it was. And it came from an idea from one of Marty's people for LA and also for Santa Cruz Valley. Marty, can you share what the one came out today that you were sharing? Was it Beg, Borrow, and Steal or something? Beg, Borrow, and Barter. That's what it was.
I'm not sure which one I shared today. I know that because you know me, I'm sharing, I'm putting stuff all over the place out there. So yeah, I've done a lot of different things, but yeah, that I see a lot of different groups pop up in front of me that I think to myself, that's perfect. You know, that's a perfect idea. That's perfect to get. Like if you, let's say for example, you have a side hobby, and your side hobby is flipping antique cars. You could create a group, LA Antique Cars for Sale. Add some people to it. Go drop that group link in a couple of car groups out there. Try to get people get in that group. I created one in Texas about a year ago, and it's got over 2,000 people in it now. And I got one here in Tennessee I created not that long ago, so I got a few hundred people in it. But what I'm trying to say is, though, you'll eventually get to the point where you get enough people in that group that you get to see all the posts that are being posted before everybody else does. So if you keep it public, the participants wanting to participate in the group, you get to preview their post before you actually let it go. Or if you change the group to private and shut it down where you approve all the posts, either one of those two directions, you're going to be able to see all the posts that get posted into your group before everybody else does. So if you were an antique car flipper and somebody posted 1969 Mustang, you know, and they don't want a lot for it, in any of your questions, you can actually ask them, what are you trying to sell? What is your bottom price? What's your target price? What is your bottom price? So it really gives you dibs on all those cars. And it's the same thing, first dibs. And it's the same thing if you create, like I've got one Buzz team member who created a land for sale group. Same exact thing for him. His name's Eloy. I met him on here on Clubhouse. He went from 0 members to over 7,000 members in his group now. But he gets first dibs on any land that gets posted in there. And now, if you imagine that, if you're a wholesaler and somebody posts land before anybody else sees it, he might find a buyer, or he have a buyer lined up where he's going to make a nice little commission check off that. So just different ways to leverage yourself out there using these groups. I don't know if you ever thought about that, Sam, or not, but I'm telling you, it's strong.
Hey, Radon, I have a quick question. You mentioned earlier for new agents starting out to do open houses. How do you do open houses for homes where you're not the listing agent?
So what I primarily, that's a great question, because before COVID, I mean, I don't know where you guys are at, but the market in LA is just like crazy. It is crazy. So, like, for instance, some agents, they'll be like, no, my team only does open houses. And then I'll drive by the house and there's no open house. And I'm just like, dude, why are you being stingy? Or like, one of the biggest things is, you know, I'll text someone. They say you should call, but you know, I'm a little passive. So I'll text and I'll be like, hey, can I do an open house? And they'll be like, no, I have someone for the weekend. And I'm like, that's great. I want to do it during the week, Tuesday or Wednesday, you know, and then they'll be like, oh no. But anyway, to answer your question without dragging it on, I specifically look for agents. I specifically look for listings that are vacant, and I'll look for code 5662. That's LA or Long Beach 323. So if I see a vacant home and the agent's number is 909, I know that's San Bernardino. So I know they're probably not close. So I'll just specifically look for vacant homes and agents that are outside of the area. And then I'll just send them a text like, hey, can I hold your house open during the week? I know you'll probably come down here on the weekend, but hey, can I do it Thursday or Friday? And most of the time they're pretty cool. I mean, again, sometimes people are just stingy and they want to be mean, or I don't want to say maybe they're mean. I mean, if they're listing, they can do whatever they want to do with it. But I just look for vacant homes and agents that are outside of the area. And most people want to do it on Saturday and Sunday because they think those are the hot days. But I've had a lot of success, and I say a lot, but again, it can always be more. But I have felt that if someone comes to an open house on a Wednesday, a Tuesday, there's something there. Now, are they going to share it with me, or am I going to figure out what's there? That's up to my skill level of selling. But, with all the stuff we have going on, kids, wife, girlfriends, family, blah, 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 the dog getting to the veterinarian. If someone comes to an open house Monday through Thursday, there's something there. There is something there.
It's a great point. And is this with agents within your brokerage, or it can be an agent outside of your brokerage?
Yeah, I mean, whoever I specifically target certain areas that I'm comfortable in, and that I know the demographics. So they're not always agents within my brokerage. I just hit up an agent and just ask them. Some people will be like, "Oh, there's a liability issue, blah blah blah." Who cares about that? And I'm persistent. And I actually have an escrow, and I'll try to be brief on this story. I text this agent. She was out of the area. I knew the area. I sold 4 homes in this area, Carson 90746. I text her. I said, "Hey, can I do your open house?" She ignored me. So instead of getting rude and upset, like 3 days later, sent her another text. She ignored me again. And then 2 weeks later, no offers because the property was overpriced. She was like, "Hey, do you still want to do my open house?" I said, "Yeah, let me do it." And then I actually found a buyer, and we're in escrow.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I guess I went in a bad area, so I lost it. I hope you guys heard me. But yeah, just being persistent and not being rude. I mean, I know she was ignoring me, and she knew she was ignoring me too. But instead of being rude, I just politely followed up and showed my persistence, and I was able to secure.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that, because there are a lot of vacant houses out there, and vacant houses are perfect because most agents don't want to sit in a vacant house, and especially if they're out of your area, because it's like, okay, do I really want to come? Yeah, they want to get the listing. Yeah, they want to get paid. However, a lot of agents, I hate to say it, a lot of agents are lazy agents, and they don't want to do the open houses because they know that in the past, not saying it's going to happen now, but in the past, things fly off the shelf. So, yeah, absolutely. That's such a great tip for Tip Tuesday. I really appreciate that. Hey, Ron, welcome to the room.
Hey, I got to run, guys.
Sam, how you doing, man?
I'm awesome. Anthony, see you soon. How's it going, Ron? What's going on? Introduce yourself. Let us know who you are and where we can send referrals.
Sure. Ron Bruno. I am a licensed loan officer in California and Texas. Live in Dallas, Texas. Lived in Southern California for 16 years. So, been on Clubhouse since May of last year. And, anybody who is looking to buy, obviously can help, as well as refinance. Licensed in California and Texas, but I could actually do deals in all 50 states.
Fantastic. I appreciate you. Haven't seen you for a little while, so I know you've been busy, but the holidays come in and, you got to spend time with the family and the kids, and, got to visit Uncle Ralph in another state and such, but appreciate.
We were actually watching the whales. We were on vacation. We went to Hawaii for 15 days at the beginning of December. So I haven't been on the app since, but it's good to be back, nice and relaxed and tan.
Absolutely, and I love the whales. The whales and the dolphins are just amazing to me. and it dwarfs us. When you see a whale and you see how big they are and how graceful they are, it really brings home to how small we are in this world of incredible species, and really brings back home to how thankful we should be about what we have in this world, and not take it for granted.
1,000,000%. Yeah, those whales, they can get really, really big, and people that they want to go swimming with whales. I was watching some series, and they were showing that they were saying that their pectoral fins, so they're essentially their arms, it's all bone. So if you were caught underneath that, it would be instant death, right? So you got to be careful when it comes to whales. Fortunately, most people don't swim out that far, and they can enjoy them from a distance. But we did a sailing, a catamaran to Lanai. We were staying on Maui, and we did a catamaran to Lanai, and we saw a bunch of whales that were, families at this point, because it's still a little early in the season. So it's mostly mom and their calves. But you could see just tons of spouts, and we saw whale tails, saw some breaches from the beach. It was really cool. It was really cool to see.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing on that. It's Tips Tuesday, and Ron, have you ever met Marty? Marty's up here, Marty Bahama, and he talks about Facebook groups. He talks about lenders and how they can use Facebook groups to get more business. Have you ever met him?
I have not met Marty, but I have a Facebook group that I created. I had one originally in LA, and then I created one just for Texas. But it's a great way to stay in touch with the community. I'd say I wish I was a little bit more active on it. Just get so busy and just working on different initiatives. But yeah, if you maintain it and you're not salesy, you're just adding value, and you're creating a place where agents can post their listings or tips or whatever. It's a good way to engage a community and really show off your expertise. The key is you just have to be active. That's the real key, and show value.
Absolutely. I agree.
I won't disagree with that for sure. I've been using the Facebook groups now for about 7 years as a branch manager. Went from one small branch to now we've got 10 branches out there. We closed quite a few loans out of these Facebook groups. The first 3 years of using them, I learned how to stop paying for advertising and close 10 plus loans every month pretty easy. Then started teaching our loan officers how to do it. Then when we started growing, then I started teaching realtors how to do it. How to not only just use everybody else's Facebook groups, but like you said, create these holding ponds, which turn into, they kind of do all the selling and branding for you if you create it the right way. But yeah, man, we definitely need to connect for sure. I definitely like connecting the loan officers everywhere, and I've got some realtors out in California I can definitely connect you with too. And Texas, both of them.
Awesome, Marty. Look forward to that.
Another Clubhouse connection. Woohoo! So this room I created is newly licensed now what? And it could be newly licensed anything. It could be newly licensed agent, it could be newly licensed insurance, it could be newly licensed any type of business that you deal with the public. Newly licensed now what? Well, first thing you need to know is you need ways to connect to possible clients. Well, how do you do that? One way is your phone. You take a look at your phone. How many people do you have in your phone? Break it down. Then you want to go through that list on your phone, because these are people that know, like, and trust you. Generally, on your phone. So scroll through that, and people that you would meet in, say go to a grocery store, and you would see this person and you would know who they are. Well, those are going to be your, say top 150. Say top 150 in your phone. Then you work from that. People that you wouldn't know if you met in the store, you either want to create a connection, or you want to get rid of them, get them off your phone, because those are going to be people that are going to know, like, and trust you. So I start with my phone. break it down. Maybe purchase an app that will actually get rid of the garbage in your phone, because we all put stuff in our phone and we forget about it. So first thing that. Second thing you look at is your email. Look at your email. We all have Google, Yahoo, MSN, whatever emails we have. There's people in there. These are people you can put in your database. These are people that you can send newsletters. These are people you can just call and say, hi, I'm in a real estate business. This is what I'm doing. And even being new in real estate, you're not new in real estate. You're new in the real estate business, but you're not new in business, because we all have come from other types of businesses. We all have come up from other types of specialties. We all know how to deal with people. We all have had some other experiences in our life that have made us good in our real estate business. The connections that we've made, the ways to deal with people, things like that. So when people say I'm new in real estate, yeah, you are new in real estate. However, you're not new in business, and you're not new in dealing with people. This is a people business. If you take a look at the first thing you have to deal with is people. It's not what you're selling, it's who you are and how you connect with people. Because if they like you, if they know, like, and trust you, they'll do business with you. And that's where it, goes back to the basics. So you go into your emails. Next thing you know, you can create a newsletter. You can use tools like Canva, which, if you haven't used Canva, I would advise everyone just to look up canva.com, because it's a great tool to create things on the fly really quick. Canva. Another thing is I'm using what's called StreamYard, and all of my videos and everything I put out there is going through StreamYard. StreamYard's a great tool. There's free versions, then there's paid one. I pay for a paid one because it actually it holds more information, more videos, if you pay for the advanced version. What other tools do I have? Trello. If you haven't heard about Trello, look up Trello.com. Trello. Trello is a place that you could put your day-to-day work. Also, I know Marty uses a lot of Google Classrooms, and he does a really good job with Google Classrooms. He takes classes and he puts them into Google Classrooms. So Google Classrooms, you have a lot of really, really great tools that you can use. If you're in an area, say you're focused on a city, with a lender, they can go anywhere. With a realtor, they have to stay fairly local, except for referrals. So become a Google Guide in your area. If you haven't looked up Google Guide, look up Google Guides. Just Google Guides. And what it does is it's going to pull up people in your neighborhood, in your community, that create value to the community. I think I'm up to 1,100 points in the Google Guide. I need to work on that. That's what I'm going to work on next year, is work on more of my Google Guide inputs. Let's see, what else? It's Tips Tuesday, so I'm trying to just pull it all out and figure out what you need to know in your business to get you to your next level. I'm also running this on Instagram. If anybody on my Instagram has any tools or tricks or things that they want to share, please just post it in the Instagram and let me know, because we could share those on this Tips Tuesday. Let's see. What else, Marty? What other type of tips?
Well, we always definitely like talking about the text replacement. The shortcuts in your phone and on your computer. I don't much teach anybody how to use their computer or their iPad when they're trying to use the Facebook groups. Everything we do is 100% mobile, and you want to do that by using text replacement. If you got an Android, you want to download the app called Text Expander. It's well worth it, I promise you. It's life-changing. And Android actually has it built in. You can just go to your settings on your iPhone. Click on General, click on Keyboard, and then you'll find a text replacement area there. But what it does, it allows you to create these shortcuts. You can put websites, you can put full paragraphs. It works with the Facebook groups like Peanut Butter to Jelly. It'll help keep you out of Facebook jail, Messenger, timeout, all that good stuff. But definitely text replacement has been a game changer, and it's allowed us to be 100% mobile with the Buzz.
Awesome. That's priceless. That is a golden nugget. So if you're in this room, if you're on any of my other social media, listen to that one. Text replacements. Learn how to use text replacements. First of all, it could save lives, because you think about people that are sitting there at a stop sign and they're just trying to say, I'll be home, honey, home soon. You got a text replacement. You put one letter or two letters, and it fills it out. So you don't have to worry about taking your hands off the wheel and not Facebook jail, but wind up in getting a nice ticket. So
yeah, no kidding.
we all are guilty of that one. Taking our phones up and picking them up. And I know those police officers and those first responders are out there. They catch you, and they will catch you. It's just a matter of when. So text replacement could save lives. It could save time. It could save you from being in Facebook jail, because what it does is you put a couple things in, a couple digits, and it fills out the rest. Hey, got keys. Welcome to the room. Nice seeing you, brother. So text replacement, another great tip. Hey, got keys. You got any good tips that we could share with the people? Come on up. Raise your hand. Let me know. Jeff, you have any tips that you've learned being in the business for a while?
100 calls a day keeps the doctor away. I make a lot of cold calls. That's my claim to fame.
Do you use dialers for your cold calls?
Yeah, I use Ring.io, and I use Pipedrive as my CRM.
Fantastic.
And then I look up the phone numbers with Zoom Info.
Gee, that's $1 million idea. If you want to make those phone calls, if you want to do dialing for dollars, that's what you do. You get dialers. You get things that do the work for you. You delegate those things that you don't want to do or that are time suckers, and you delegate those to other people or resources. People also hire assistants. AI. They hire assistants in other states, other countries, to do that. Jeff, you were going to say?
No, one of the things that is important to do is also make sure you have an IT department, because IT can really, slow you down, right? Like if you have an IT issue, I don't care what it is. Like you shouldn't be spending your time on IT related problems or what have you. Really, any problems that aren't equating to real business. So you got to figure out how to delegate all those things out. Like looking up phone numbers, you can go on Fiverr and you can find somebody to skip trace for you. Or you can use something, it depends if it's a B2B situation, you can use something like Zoom Info. You really have to, you can pay somebody like $50 a month, like an IT person, like those IT companies, to set up your Outlook and make sure it's all running properly, or set up your Gmail and you really, really, really don't want to do those things. You really want to delegate. I think that was a good word that you used.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, delegation is the way to do it. Like with my transactions, I like to go and get listings, and as soon as I get my listings, I delegate it to my transaction coordinator. And of course, I follow up with them because you have to, because your license is on the line. It has nothing to do with their license if they have a license. It has to do with your license. So you have to make sure you follow up with them. However, it does take that off your table when it comes to documentation. They can make sure that all the documents are at least in a file so that you can grab them and get them out to the people. Other tools I use. Planner. I mean, let's go back to basics. Have a daily planner. Have something in front of you that you can write down when somebody calls you, and you can just take some notes, take some quick notes, because we all have these digital devices. However, sometimes you can't do something with a digital device. If you just make some notes, make some quick notes on a piece of paper and in your planner, it's down, and you have more chance of remembering when you write something down on with a pen and paper. You have more chance of remembering that because there's a connection between your brain and your hands. So when it comes to typing things in, there's less chance of you remembering it. So a planner, go back to basics. Planner, notepad, always have those things as a backup, because you can always go back to them if you forget something or lose something. Lose a phone number or email address, and that's millions of dollars you could have just dropped. So make sure you're prepared and you have that. Other things I'm talking about to my mentees is contracts. Anything you have as a contract, know it like the back of your hand. Know it like the back of your hand, because if you don't, that's going to get you in trouble. So go through your contracts, especially.
I had a story like that where something dropped and it was like horrible.
Go ahead, Jeff.
So I had this technology. I don't want to. I guess I can name the name, whatever. Phone IQ. It was supposed to be amazing, and it would take all the notes for you, and it would tape record your conversations and then transpose them onto your CRM and all that. But the basic thing of like taking a voicemail down, it didn't, like somebody left me a voicemail for 200 units, and basically this is for another business that I was doing, 200 units of multifamily, and they were ready to like, sign with us. And I didn't get the voicemail for like, a week and a half. And of course, when I called them back, it was over. They had already called somebody else. And it was just a basic thing that the thing was supposed to leave, take my voicemail and, let me know when there's a voicemail in the box, but it didn't do that. So you gotta have some of the most basic technology, make sure it works. Sometimes when you try to strap on these, more advanced things, the basic stuff doesn't work. And then, you have no safety net. So I just reverted back from a dialer that rings. When it rings, I have everything ring on my cell phone now, because the cell phone, I'm not going to miss any messages.
Absolutely, and you can actually use a Google Voice too. So if you don't want to use your own personal line, there's a Google Voice, and if you pay a little bit more, you actually could get a vanity number. Like one of the things I use, I have my phone number is 661-418-REAL, 661-418-REAL, and REAL equates to 7325. But when I put it out there in the world and like put it on my videos and stuff, 661-418-REAL, people remember the real because of real estate. So you can use Google Voice for something like that as well.
The only problem is I'm locked into all these contracts with Google, and I can't seem to get out of them. Like they keep on charging my monthly. It's another problem I got to deal with like the IT guy. But like hopefully it's good to have somebody like that to solve all those problems for you.
Absolutely. And you know what's really cool? This isn't a room basically on eXp, but we have a really, really cool in our virtual world. Everything's done in virtual. And we have a tech support in our virtual world. And you can go into virtual world if anything you have issues with anything. They'll take over your computer system and they'll go through it and they'll fix it. And they're amazing, and it's all part of the our split. And we have, I think, 700 different employees in our world. It's pretty amazing to think, that we were made for this. We were made for this COVID. 11 years ago, we were made for this. So, and Jeff, we also have a commercial division as well. So it's kind of cool.
I know Armando from your commercial division. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, Armando's amazing. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Hey, Richard, I haven't seen you for a while. I see you popping in a room and then you disappear. You got some time to talk, introduce yourself, what you do, and share with us? Maybe a tip that we can share with some others on Tip Tuesday, if you're able to. And Denya, I see you down there. I appreciate you coming in the room. I know we're all busy and sometimes we can't talk, but sometimes we can. If you have a chance, come on up and introduce yourself, and so we can send you some business. I always say a closed mouth does not get fed. A closed mouth does not get fed. So, and anybody that's got some people in the clubhouse that want to ping some people in, I'd appreciate it. I think I'm out of pings. I keep trying. Yeah, I am out of pings. But ping your people in the room, and so we could share some more tips. Hey, Ron.
Sam, I've got a tip. This is kind of recent. This actually happened this morning. So I've got a closing, and I've got 2 closings tomorrow, and they're refinances. And when we do refis, we need to make sure that everything lines up properly, right? And sometimes it's not caught by your support team; it's caught by the closer themselves, right? So in this case, I had an insurance binder where it was actually showing under paid in full. It actually said no. So my closer, she said, okay, well, what do we owe? What do we need to collect? And I said, okay, we need to hunt this thing down. So I'm not going to name the insurance carrier, but I went to the actual binder, saw that it was under a particular person's name, an agent's name, and I looked them up. I Googled them, right? They didn't have their phone number on there, but I saw that they had a name and they're in Texas. So, I just Googled them, found them immediately, and I gave them a call. Well, they didn't answer their regular number at the office. So I'm like, okay, probably working from home. And I then proceeded to, I found their cell phone. So I called them on their cell, no answer. And I figured, okay, she's probably not going to answer from a 310 number that they don't know. And then I texted. Well, once I texted, she immediately sent, and I don't know if it was automatic, could have been an automatic, but I received an out of office reply saying, I'm out until January 5th. Please contact my customer service team, right? This is the office. So they basically gave me the office where nobody was there. And I then texted again and said, I called that number, nobody's there. That insurance agent then sent the same reply that said, I'm out of the office. So, a lot of insurance agents, because I get lots of calls from them, as a lender, they want to do business with us because we can refer them business. But this person completely missed the mark because what she stated was call my customer service team was actually go on hold for 30 minutes until you get a 1-800 number person, and maybe they might be able to help you out. Because not every insurance company will actually share customer information. Sometimes you have to get the client on the phone. And obviously I don't want to get the client on the phone and interrupt their day the day before closing, right? So it's just one of those things where if you are in customer service and your commission depends on referrals and building business and making relationships with other professionals, be sure that if you have a backup team, that you truly have a backup team and they're answering their phones. Because if you have just a 1-800 number and you have a client or another professional that's trying to get something from you, you're not going to make a great impression. So I just wanted to throw that out there and spark a little discussion.
That's a fantastic point. And one of the things I've noticed since I've been in real estate is agents not answering their phones. Agents not answering text. Agents not being very responsive. And in this day and age with our technology, there's no excuse for not answering your phone. And what's a really, really big pet peeve of mine, and I make sure that I don't do this, is full voicemails. Full voicemails drive me up the wall, because if I can't get a hold of you, how can a client get a hold of you? So that's one of the things I find out. Also, as a new agent, if you're a new agent out there, when you get an offer from an agent, look up that DRE number, or look up whatever the Cal DRE is what we use in California. Look up that license number. Make sure the person that you're going to deal with doesn't have any strikes against them when it comes to the real estate business, because it says a lot about the person and the character of the person that you're going to deal with. And it also can help you to, if you got several offers on the table and you have somebody that has some type of strike against them in a real estate business, you may not want to do business with that person just because of the fact that there was something in there that in their past that they didn't, they weren't ethical about. So look up people's numbers. When someone wants to go look at your house, always ask for their real estate number. Look them up before you give the information on the house that they're going to look at. I'm talking to listing agents. And as a buyer agent, always make sure you put your license number when you're conversing with a agent through text or email or on the phone. Make sure you say your license number so they can look you up and make sure that you are who you are and that their client is protected as well. So just a little bit of a pet peeve with those full voicemails. It's like, okay, you should be in business. If you have a full voicemail, you need somebody else to delegate. You need to delegate somebody else to handle that in your business, because there's no excuse to have a full voicemail. There really isn't. What do you think? I'm sure that rubs you the wrong way, huh, Ron?
Yeah, it's one of those things where here was an opportunity where she actually could have earned my business, right? Because I know, I've seen the commercials of this particular insurance company, and I know that they have a good specialty when it comes to new home construction, and the agent that I had is no longer there. So I get people are on vacation. I mean, I was on vacation, but my wife and I have an agreement. She has her own business too, right? So we have our own agreement where if someone truly needs us, then we're going to take that call, right? Whether it's a new lead or it's customer service or whatever it is, because you don't get another shot, right? So it's not like I was asking them for lunch and I needed to reach them right away. This was something that, for full transparency, it was our fault, that it wasn't caught. But here was an opportunity for that particular agent to be a hero while they were on vacation, earn my business, take care of the whole thing, versus it being a frustrating experience. And now I had to go play processor, right? So it was not a great experience. So if that agent ever followed up and said, hey, let's go out for coffee, or, I want to learn more about your practice. Nope. Sorry. Yeah, I was able to get what I needed, but, it was either your technology that rubbed me the wrong way by having the automatic reply on there, or did you purposefully forward that to me when I had texted you? Either way, the perception is that person doesn't care, and that's not the impression you want if you are in a service-related business where your compensation is tied to performance.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dania, welcome up on the stage.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for inviting me up the stage. Hi, Jeff. I am based out of Toronto. I used to live in Long Island, Marty. Was it Marty who said he was in Long Island? Somebody here said they were in Long Island.
I think it's Jeff. I think Jeff's in New York.
No. I'm in Knoxville, Redneck, Tennessee.
Oh. And I'm just in the process of getting my real estate license. I'm not there as yet. The process here in Canada is a lot longer than the U.S. And I've been on and off Clubhouse for last few months. that's about me. But very nice room. Thank you for sharing all the amazing tips. I really like the idea about Facebook having a business page. And I agree, it's kind of annoying when you call somebody and the voicemail is full. So I agree on that too.
Thank you, Danya. So in Canada, how is the process? How many hours do you have to go to class? And can you fill us in on that?
Yeah, sure. There are like 4 parts, and there's another part once you finish. So like total of 5 parts to your real estate license, and it costs about $5,300 to get your license here in Ontario, Canada.
Wow. So they really weed through people that don't have money to start off with.
Yes, you're right. Because there are a lot of realtor licenses here, and a lot of people have done it, but I guess they've made it more stricter now. Every year they just make it more and more stricter.
So it's kind of interesting because we talk about it in California. We talk about that for $1,000 you can get your real estate license basically. Look at if we can increase the amount we're charged, we could probably weed out the agents that don't have money to start with. And maybe make it a higher quality of a business and make people realize that it is a business, because we talk about this is the real estate business and you have to treat it as such. And maybe if there was a higher amount to pay to get in, maybe that would be a bigger barrier for people and they would be more serious about it.
Yeah, and it is from a community college here. Only one college provides. They have a contract with the government, the state government, and they are the only people who can give you a license. So it's not like you could go to different institutes and do the courses and then take the license. It's just one particular college that the government has said that these are the people who will give you the license. So it's pretty streamlined, and my exams have all been online because of COVID. So everything has been online, and it's been pretty smooth. I'm almost there, but not quite there because it takes longer between every part to register for the exam. You have to almost wait like 3-4 weeks before you can register for the next exam because the dates are not available. So it is taking a little longer because of COVID. Usually people are able to get it between 3 to 4 months, but because of COVID, it's taking about 7 to 8 months to get your license.
And the cool thing is when you get your license, when you finally get it, you're going to be chomping at the bit so much that it's going to be like you're going to just like a racehorse, like out of the stable, you'll be like a running.
I really hope so. Clubhouse has been phenomenal. I've been learning so much from everybody. It's just, I can't even imagine the kind of things I've learned. Even just like what Marty mentioned, having a Facebook page for your business, like little things that you really would not think about. But it's just, it's got me thinking, and I have a notebook and I keep writing things that I should implement and start looking into. So the whole Clubhouse community is just fantastic. So thank you, everybody.
Now remember, is it Danya? Is that right?
Yeah, Danya.
Danya, I'm all about the groups, not about the pages. So to me, pages are designed to spend your money. Groups are free. And I've got realtors in Canada that have used the groups and are loving it. One of them, as a matter of fact, named Justin Little, when he first joined up with me to learn how to use the Facebook groups, because I also teach people how to buy Facebook groups. He picked up a group in his area with about 67,000 members in it in the first week of meeting me. So it's definitely life changing. Once you get everything situated, just reach out to me sometime and I'll give you some free advice anytime.
That's really sweet, Marty. Thank you so much. I've followed you and definitely will follow you on Instagram too. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Sam, I'm going to hop off here. If anybody has any questions about Facebook groups, message me anytime. Sam, I appreciate it as always, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Shawnee, how are you? Welcome.
Hey, how are ya?
I'm living the dream. Living the dream. It's Tips Tuesday, so we're sharing tips with new agents on both Clubhouse, Instagram, and you name it. I got it rolling right now. So welcome. Introduce yourself. Let us know where we can send referrals to.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Shawnee. I'm in Eastern Pennsylvania, for those of you who don't know me. Outside of Philadelphia, also service Central New Jersey, and I'm residential resale. I also do a little commercial, and I work a lot with investors, buy and hold mainly, fix and flip as well, and done property management for sure, an investor myself. And definitely think it's great to share tips. One tip I would share, it's this thing the end of the year, is it's always good, especially if you're in residential real estate, to follow up. New Year's is a great time to follow up, like the month of January. In touch with people, to follow up with people. So I would say that would be a good tip, I would think. Definitely use New Year's for people that you've fallen by the wayside, and keep following up with people. I would say, I think now the statistics has gone up. It used to be, I'm going to say 6 to 10, but I know now it's closer to 15 times to follow up with people. So definitely, I would say follow up leads until they list, they sell, or the person is no longer with us. So my tip is consistently follow up and never stop until you're given a reason not to. Basically, they told you not to follow up or a situation changed. That's what I have to add. Hope that helps.
Absolutely. Always adding gold to our room. I appreciate it. Follow up, follow up, follow up. When in doubt, follow up. That's what it comes down to. So appreciate you coming in the room, and let me see if I can invite some more people into the room and see what is going on. I started this at 12 o'clock, and I always add some more people to the room as we go. Feel free to add some people to the room, Shawnee, and see if we keep this conversation going. I usually close it at about 1:30, so we'll see who comes in and who has got some value to add to Tips Tuesday. I created this room for new agents, seasoned agents, anybody out there that could use the tips and the mentorship, as well as those that aren't licensed yet and just don't know what to do next, because there's a lot of people out there like that. And we would have a better real estate business if we just had people to reach and help each other, and to help each other become better in our businesses. So Ray, welcome to the room.
Good morning, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I thought this would actually be a good thing to listen to while I work on my marketing for the upcoming year.
Fantastic. Have you done a business plan yet, Ray?
Oh, yeah. Usually we're pretty much encouraged to do our business plan around November, right? I can honestly say it's not done yet, right? I wouldn't say that it's just something that you actually fly by through. Usually it takes me about a couple of weeks to do, where I dedicate about almost a full Monday per week, all the way until close to the new year, to actually get my business plan done. And it's still actually not done yet.
So introduce yourself, Ray, so everyone can know who you are, where you're at, and where we can send referrals.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Ray Estrella. I am in the greater Vancouver area, just north of the border. I've been doing real estate, mostly residential, actually all of it residential, for the last 16 years. And I have been a constant follower for people like Shani for the last couple of months, ever since I joined Clubhouse. And a lot of this stuff has been very, very fun to share ideas and bounce around ideas back and forth. So right now we are in December 28th, and pretty much this is kind of the part where I actually work on my marketing for the beginning of January. I'm not sure around where you guys are in your market, but pretty much around this time, it will be a week's time frame where we're going to be receiving our property tax assessments. So this is kind of a marketing plan that I actually do have right in the very, very beginning of January, to help people like my clients, as well as my farm area, as well as anybody in my social network, to understand how property tax assessments work. Right? Because that becomes a question, a lot of people don't really understand it. It also turns into a very, very valuable touch point to actually, introduce your knowledge to people, as well as just talk about real estate in general. So that is pretty much my very, very big touch base for the month of January, which is pretty much two touches. Number one, around January 6th, where most people actually has received their tax assessments, to actually give them some sort of marketing tool, whether it's a drop off at their house, whether it's a mail to my clients, or whether it is something that I have advertised on Facebook. Only has to do with property tax assessments, and pretty much only offering just to help answer questions in regards to that. After that, if it's just my database or my farm area, and a nice follow-up call just to see if they received their assessments and see if there's any questions we can answer, always makes a great follow-up touch base. So, that's pretty much my month of communication for January.
That's fantastic, Ray. And the cool thing about it is this market is up and down. So right now it's still going up. However, when it shifts, these people need to know that they can, I don't know if it works in Canada like this, but they can get their properties reassessed at a lower price. Therefore, your tax rate goes down.
Exactly. And you know what? The answer to that question is yes, it does. It does work in Canada, right? And that's the kind of thing that we want to be answering. The questions of what does your assessment mean? Number two is how to dispute it. And number three is if you should dispute it, right? Because the thing is, part of that answering the question of should I dispute it or how do I dispute it, comes along with one qualifying question. What are your short-term or long-term goals? Right? You ask that question, then pretty much you can understand if they have an immediate time to transition, or a 1-year plan or a 2-year plan. It's a very, very simple question to ask.
And that something like that could actually be put into a TikTok or a Instagram or something. It could actually it could bring out a big conversation from people that maybe you don't even know, that you don't have connections to yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess TikTok just went past Google or YouTube. I heard they just, and Facebook's like number 3 right now, so it's pretty interesting. So those social media channels, use those social media channels. If you haven't used them, if you've never used them, if you're not familiar with them, you know what you do? You connect with other people like these in this room and some other rooms. Connect with these social media mavens and misters that are doing some incredible social media posts, and pick their brain and ask them questions and say, well, how do I do this? And what's new in Instagram? What's new in Facebook? What's new? Because all these things, they change constantly. Facebook's constantly changing their algorithm, but they're actually doing more with the Facebook groups now than they have in a long time. So Facebook groups are really, really good right now. And I created over 100 different Facebook groups myself. And I take things like the streaming that I'm doing right now, and I'll stream it through, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I got 8 different streams going right now. I got 2 Twitters, I got one YouTube, I got my LinkedIn, and got 4 of my Facebook groups that I am streaming this whole thing through. So when I tell people in these rooms, come up, introduce yourselves, let us know where you're at, I'm serious about that, because you never know. One of these folks in one of my streams could need somebody in Canada. You never know. Danya is also up by you, Ray. So you may want to connect with Danya. She hasn't received her real estate license yet. However, she's going through all of the rigmarole that we all have to deal with. And you may want to follow her and follow Ray, Danya, and maybe you guys can help each other and maybe connect.
Yeah, hi Ray, I gave you a follow. Nice to meet you.
Oh, he went back down. Maybe that was an accident. I'll, if he wants to come back up, I can invite him up. Well, he's probably doing his thing. He's doing his marketing, so I'll leave him alone. Usually I pull this. Oh, he's gonna come up. Sometimes we kick ourselves down to the bottom. Sometimes. There you go.
Hi, Danny. I just want to let you know that I did hear you, so thanks very much for the follow. And yeah, I'll be going back down right now. But yeah, as busy as it is awesome meeting all of you. Sam, you've got a new follower in me as well. So happy New Year's. We'll talk again soon. Bye, Danny. Bye, Sam.
Absolutely, I'll follow you. I gotta get rid of some other people I follow. I ran out of followers, so I gotta go through that and kind of filter through who's not following back. But I think what I'm going to do, it's almost 1:30 California time. Almost 1:30 California time. I think I'm going to shorten this a little bit, and I'm going to close the room, and so we have some more stuff to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow is Winning Wednesday. I think I like Winning Wednesday, so we can see how we can help other people win in this business, this crazy real estate business together. I appreciate all of you for coming into this room, and the replay, there is a replay for this if you want to go back and listen and download it. And I appreciate all of you, and we will talk to you in the next Clubhouse room, and we'll see you in the Clubhouse streets. Sam661.com if you want to get directly to me. That's my 10K card. And I actually have quite a few links in there for some affiliate programs I'm part of. Some marketing ones, like some branding ones. So feel free to go and take a look and see what's going on in there. I worked really hard on it, and appreciate all of you. We will talk to you soon, and God bless. Keep busy, and make it a great day. Bye for now. I think I gotta close the room. Let me close the room. Save replay. And room. All right. Instagram followers, what's going on? How you guys doing? Hope you guys got some value out of today's Tip Tuesday. I'm going to say Tech Tuesday, but it kind of is a tech/tip Tuesday. And I'm going to end my Instagram, and I'm going to end my stream, and we will talk to you tomorrow at 12. Sisters in Service. Woo! What's up, Kat? Talk to you soon. Take care. God bless. I have to do this 3 times because I got several things rolling here. So let me share. There we go. Got to pick something kind of cool. Kind of cool, kind of happening. There we go. All these pictures on Instagram sitting there with my mouth open. It's like, oh my God. That's kind of funny. Here, I'll share that one. So let me add to the series. Believe it or not, we're at 35 episodes. 35 episodes of Newly Licensed Now What? Wow, time sure flies. So, my streaming people, thank you so much for watching. And I will end this broadcast. And if you scroll, if you look at the bottom, we have a lot of things going on here. Let me know how I can help. Sam661.com. SamSilverHomes.com. If you want to get a real estate license, go to needhelp.club. If you want a mentor, you need a mentor, go to realtymentor.club. And we will talk to you soon. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Winning Wednesday. I can't wait.